Good morning, everyone. And oh my God, I'm all wrinkled and disheveled. There you go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines from our city, our state, and our country, Mexico. And we take a look at your comments, ideas, questions, suggestions, and all kinds of information that helps us get through our daily lives in a wonderful way here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English speaking locals. Today it's Friday, 25th, June 25th, and it is the end of the week. And we have so many news to share, but let's have a little bit of that.
Thank God it's
Okay, I feel better already. We have so much news to share today. There's news about vaccines, and the news about vaccines is that there's no news about vaccines, but what do you know? There's news about highways, there's news about a new tropical storm, there's news about convention tourism, there's news about Pennsatucky from Orange is the New Black. There's news about so many things today, and it's all fun, interesting, peculiar, weird news. There's news about the Jalisco Philharmonic. So, I hear that my audio is a little low. Oh, interesting. Hold on just a second. Yeah. Increasing audio. Hold on. Let me move the iPad out of the way so that we can. Okay. Is this better? Is that there you go. That looks like a healthy signal. Ah. Oh, that was a little bit too much. Hold on. My audio mixer is getting a little old, and now it decides to go quiet on me randomly. But, that's what happens with gear and equipment. Sometimes it grows old. What can I tell you? But thank you so much for pointing it out. I hope the audio level is better now. If I get a little screechy, just keep me posted and we will adjust as we're going through the broadcast, which we might as well get. Oh, now I'm crackly. Oh, dear. See, I love doing things to keep you happy. I'm going to try to not be crackly, Christy, and but if I continue to be crackly, just let me know. I'll be more relaxed in my voice. But first, let us get started with the news because we have tons of things to cover. Just in case you are wondering, there is still no set date for the upcoming COVID vaccination campaign for folks in their 30s, nor has there been an announcement for the second shot for those of us that are folks in our 50s. I can't help but to wonder if the federal government is a little miffed because they did the vaccination campaign for people in their 40s, but it turned out with a disappointing turnout. So all I can say is let's hope that the vaccines are coming soon. On the other hand, we learn on this other news note that over 76,000 vaccines have already been applied in Puerto Vallarta. I think this is a nice number. 37,535 correspond to seniors, 10,903 to folks in our 50s, 27,170 to folks in their 40s. So yeah, a few of them did show up. And of course, 670 pregnant women have received the vaccine in our city. We hope that this trend continues so that we can continue to move forward and stop wearing face masks. Some days, I feel like I'm used to mine, and some days I don't want to wear it anymore. What can I tell you? We've mentioned the delays in the construction of the Guadalajara-Puerto Vallarta highway, and now we learned that one of the major setbacks at present time is the fact that valuable, or invaluable perhaps, pre-Hispanic findings have been found in the construction site. And the National Institute of Anthropology and History, of course, is taking time to properly evaluate, protect, and extract such findings. The third and most delayed stretch in the highway is in the hands of a Carso company The Carso Group is owned by Carlos Slim, who owns half of our soul here in Mexico, even if we're not aware of it. And it is the Carso Group that did a shoddy job with the subway line that collapsed in Mexico City a couple of months ago. And of course, this is all now under scrutiny. Carlos Slim has been at the presidential palace to have conversations with Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador and Mexico City Mayor Claudia Sheinbaum. So we hope that they are at least talking about this, given the fact that back in 2019, AMLO gave Carlos Slim an ultimatum. Either you wrap this highway up or we will give the concession to a different company. So there are at least two important items in their agenda. Number one, what's going to happen with the responsibility of fixing the subway line, and what's going to happen with the highway. Now, we know from things that I've read on the papers that things are very amicable between our president and Carlos Slim. And Carlos Slim, not a dumb man, his stock went down as soon as it was announced that clearly one of the problems with the subway line was the fact that it was not well built by Carso in the first place. So his stock went down. So we know that Carlos Slim has the best intention to make the wrongs right as far as the subway line is concerned. We just don't have any fracking details on the highway. But who cares? You cannot even take the highway, at least not today. Why? Because if you're planning a trip along Highway 200, which eventually connects with this non-existent or unfinished highway, you may want to think twice, as unannounced work has resulted in chaotic delays for folks traveling northbound and southbound. Heavy rain in Nayarit is not helping either, and these delays are expected to continue through today and possibly tomorrow. So, no driving up north down the highway, at least not if you want to go past Sayulita, because you are going to find all kinds of delays there. So, I'll take the Mascota Highway, you think. Well, there are landslides in the Mascota Highway, or Highway 544 as we know it. So you can also expect delays there. In fact, Highway 544 is definitely not advised during the rain season because of the number of landslides that take place, the lack of gas stations along the way, and the lack of strong cell phone signals. So, with the two northbound exits to our city, the only way out is by plane or by driving down to Colima. So we might as well just stay here and enjoy our time here, trapped in Puerto Vallarta. And of course, to make things more conversational, there's a new tropical storm called Enrique. That was my father's name. It has formed in the Pacific, and it is headed our way. Not directly, of course, but close enough to bring heavy rains to the region within the next 2 to 3 days. And we will get an up-close and personal meeting with Enrique right after the weather break. And of course, our snarky carrot weather program tells us that climate change is a hoax. Today's weather message is paid for by the Fossil Fuels Are Awesome Super PAC. Okay. It is 28 degrees Celsius today, and it feels like 33 degrees. Humidity is not as bad as yesterday, but it is still 88%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit is 82 degrees, and we have a 7% chance of rain at present time. What can we expect for the weekend? Well, possible light rain overnight today with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 25. A humid and overcast day tomorrow, high temperature of 30, low temperature of 24. We keep our fingers crossed so that the brand new first time ever Colonia Versalles Gay Pride celebration is able to take place tomorrow. And on Sunday, we can expect possible light rain until the morning, starting again in the evening with a high temperature of 28. That's low considering the high temperatures we've had lately. So high temperature of 28, low temperature of 23, and that's what we can expect as far as the weather goes. Now, I did promise you a quick look at our new friend Enrique, and let's make that happen right now. Here is our trusty windy map, and there's Puerto Vallarta, and there is Enrique down here. And I'm looking at the beautiful animations that come from windy.com, if you want to keep that in mind. Windy.com has excellent little animations of tropical storms and other kinds of phenomenon. So that is what Enrique looks like. Let us hope that it brings some well-deserved rain to our region, but not so much of it that things get chaotic. Continuing with our news, I want to share good news from our convention center, the Puerto Vallarta Convention Center. According to Director Magali Fregoso Ortiz, there are already 25 major events scheduled for the second half of this year at Puerto Vallarta's International Convention Center, which is equivalent to an average of one event per week. This is excellent news for our city. We don't frequently think about this, but convention tourism is a very important source of revenue for our city. And it is encouraging to learn that more of these events are already scheduled. Not only is it an important source of revenue, but it's also a great showcase for people that come to Puerto Vallarta to participate in conventions and meetings and then take advantage of the fact that they're at a tourism destination. So we get to show ourselves in the eyes of many, many people, and we don't even think about this on a regular basis. Moving right along, the legislative branch in Mexico has been waffling about the new cannabis law that is supposed to come into effect for what, like a year and a half, maybe 2 years? I can't even remember when we started talking about this. But now we learned that the Supreme Court is expected to make a resolution on the law this coming Monday, finally. Arturo Saldivar, who is the presiding minister of the Supreme Court, indicated that he expects that the new law will be approved. For this to happen, 8 out of 11 court ministers must approve it, so I've already sent a care package of brownies in the right direction just to make sure that everybody's on the right track. I'm just happy that the lack of resolution on this matter is not preventing me from being happy all the time. And speaking of happy, or rather unhappy, a few days ago, we announced that Walmart has stopped employing seniors on a volunteer basis to pack groceries, arguing that people don't want their goodies touched at the cash register. Well, our president, López Obrador, has knocked on the Walmart door and said, reconsider, please. And hopefully, Walmart will, because this is a very important source of revenue for many of our senior citizens here in Puerto Vallarta and in many cities throughout Mexico. I was at La Comer yesterday, and I was so very happy to see all the senior grocery packers, and I said hello to several of them that I know from being a regular La Comer shopper. And I will give you a tip if you're shopping for bath towels. Oh my God, La Comer has bath towels in all kinds of beautiful colors right now available for sale. So La Comer it is. If you're looking for beautiful, colorful, rainbow color towels. Well, not rainbow color, but they have the towels available in all the rainbow colors. Needless to say, yours truly shopped for towels. What colors did I get? Of course, green and orange, which are the colors of the house. And now I want to share selfish news, but what can I tell you? It is important to me. This is selfish, but it makes me very happy. The Jalisco Philharmonic Orchestra, whose main home is Guadalajara's Teatro de Gollado, has resumed live performances with audiences in the house. We announced this. This is going on with COVID limitations, of course, but the concerts have been sold out every single time. Now we learned that the orchestra offered a guest performance at Guadalajara's brand new, or fairly new, Conjunto Santander Theater, which was also sold out. For me, this is a sign of people wanting to get out, number one, people wanting to enjoy orchestra performances, which totally nurtures my soul. As you know, I am just waiting for my second prick to schedule a trip to Guadalajara and enjoy a live concert, a live orchestra concert. I'm itching. I don't care if they play La Cucaracha. I just want to be able to sit. In fact, if they play La Cucaracha, that would be lovely. I want to be able to sit at a theater and enjoy a live performance. And that's just me. You tell me how you feel about that. I'm going to stop talking about the Philharmonic if you don't want me to, but I just think it is so important to resume live performances of every kind in a safe way, to the extent that the pandemic allows us to do that. Last but not least, oh my God. Remember Pensatucky from Orange is the New Black? Well, the quirky looking actress, whose name is Terry Manning, is now the star of an upcoming film that makes last year's Corona Zombies look like an Oscar winning cinematic masterpiece. The new film is called Karen. Yes, Karen. It is a horror film in which Manning goes unhinged when an African American couple moves into her otherwise very pale neighborhood. I don't do horror movies myself, but I couldn't resist watching at least the first 30 seconds of the trailer. So I'll leave you with a link for it in the show notes so that you can decide how much of it, if any of it, you want to watch for yourselves. She goes unhinged. Oh my God, how sad and how crazy, but she goes unhinged. And these are the news for today. Let me rewind the comments tape just to see what you're up to this beautiful Friday morning. I see hellos as always, and I very much appreciate them. I forgot to mention, if you have any comments that are particularly important, it helps if you add a cue to them. And otherwise, I'm going to go through the whole scroll. Claude, it was so nice to read you this morning, and I miss you terribly. I'm so happy to hear that you and Lucas are doing well, my dear friends and members of our cluster. In fact, it was Claude who decided to call the cluster. So I hope everything is well up north in Canada, and I hope you'll be back in town sometime soon. Let's see. Albert is back at Café de Olla. Order some chilaquiles, Albert, because I've been doing research on chilaquiles, and there is a lot of debate out there between soggy or soft chilaquiles and crunchy, crispy chilaquiles. So it's not only me who is weird. I've come to realize about liking soft, chewy, easy to bite on chilaquiles. And I forgot to ask my chef friend. Oh, that's something else I wanted to tell you about La Comer. Yesterday, I had a business meeting at the La Comer's Cafe, and it turned out the best possible place to have a business meeting because you have a coffee, it's air conditioned, and when you're done with your business meeting, you shop for your groceries and then you go home. End of story. It was fabulous. Let's see what else we have. My dear friend Earl from Provincetown, my dear friend Earl from the past, from the present, from the future, from forever. It is always great to see you, baby. Let's see what else. Da 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 da. Your audio. Oh, we went through the audio thing. Let me skip the audio comments. Thank you so much for bringing that up. You know, I always try to make sure that I paid attention to everything, and there's always a detail that there's always details. Good morning, Mr. Michael. It is always great to see you. I'm going through Michael Buford restaurant withdrawal. It's been a while since I've had some Thai food, so maybe, just maybe, I will schedule myself a visit. Question: the second vaccine for the 50 plus group isn't due until 8 to 12 weeks after the first vaccine. So that is not so much a question, I hope, or a reminder. I know that this has been brought up in the past, Julie. I am not keeping track of the number of weeks because I think I would start going a little crazy, but thank you for that reminder. I forget what the science says. So if it is a fact that we need to wait between 8 to 12 weeks, so be it. Maybe we'll go to the symphony in Guadalajara by the end of July, or maybe in August. I don't know. I just want to get it done. For me, it's a milestone that is going to bring me a lot of peace of mind and of heart. Let's see. Oh my God. I am so happy to read, Kathleen, that I'm not the only person that has Thai leftovers for breakfast. I always think of Thai food as not necessarily breakfast food, but more than once have had pad Thai or chicken swimming rama for breakfast the day after. How yummy. The Delta variant. The Delta variant is showing to be very virulent. Keep those masks handy. I keep mine so close to me. In fact, Susan, yesterday I learned how to crochet a little holding chingadera so that when I take my mask off, it can just sort of hang on my chest. So there. Let's see what else we have. Oh my God, totally unrelated to Puerto Vallarta, but that tragedy in Florida, it is so devastating. I must confess that more than once have I looked at the hills of Conchas Chinas in Alta Vista, and I've crossed my fingers because some of those buildings are just really, really tall. Um, but how sad, how sad. Let's see. Uh, Sherry loves pad thai. It is impossible not to love pad thai, I think. Kathleen wants sun. Just leave our sun in Puerto Vallarta. I agree with you, Kathleen. Sun, but not really warm temperature, at least for me. Uh, Michael is chiming in on what I was talking about. Conventions here in Puerto Vallarta. Many people are here for the first time and they always come back for vacations with family, and it helps the economy for many people, not just the conventioneers. Um, Yay, live concert in Guadalajara. Mijal, you know we're going to be so there when you come back from Canada. Yes, I said Canada. But that was just a sweet thing. Please don't hold it against me. I know it's Canada. Um, let's see. Live music is the best. Live music is the best. Yes. Matthew has just announced that. Thank you, Matthew. Two live concerts in July 16th at the Palacio de Bellas Artes and the 18th in the National Arts Center. Now all I have to do is practice, practice. How wonderful is that? Bravo. I hope your concerts are great, and I hope you have a great time. And I'm so looking forward to your visit in December. It'll be wonderful. Let's see. Karen, isn't that overkill? Well, Sherry, you'd have to tell that to the movie producers, not to me. I'm just relaying the news. Um, Kathleen asks what. Oh, that question is not for me, I am sure. If you have a chance to go to Guadalajara, you should visit Teatro de Gollado. It's an amazing place. Absolutely. Whether the concerts are going on at the Teatro de Gollado or not, to have the opportunity of visiting this majestic theater is absolutely precious. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Any day at 5 p.m., Paco, we can break a few spring rolls together. Ooh, that sounds sexy. I love it. Um, Jeannie says leftovers. Who has leftovers? Not possible. Way too yummy. Well, I agree with that. Never leftovers from Siam, folks. This is a shameless plug for Siam Thai cuisine. If you haven't visited Michael Beaufort's beautiful Thai restaurant, or Bravo's, or his Mexican restaurant Poblanos, do so. Do so. Michael is a wonderful member of our community and a person who is a stickler when it comes to COVID-19 guidelines. More than once have we heard of people grumbling because they have been asked to leave Michael's restaurants because they are not following the rules. Is that something that makes the restaurant owner a tyrant? Well, maybe in the eyes of some, but in the eyes of yours truly, I feel a lot more comfortable and safe going to a restaurant where I know that the owner is being very strict about the guidelines than walking into a restaurant where I see people walking in and out without regard to the sanitary measures. So there. Um, let's see what else. Michal says, I love it when you say Canada. Well, I don't want to offend anyone. I certainly hope I don't offend anyone, but I think it sounds really funny. It's kind of like when I see people talking about Vallartenses and we get called Vallartians or Guadalajarans or stuff like that. I like Canada, and I won't use it frequently, I promise. And this, my friends, this brings us to the end of our broadcast. And just as David um, has to run for a conference call, have I seen the Luis Miguel biography Netflix series? His story is very interesting. I haven't seen it because I've never been fond of his singing. Personally, I know a lot of people love Luis Miguel's voice. I personally, I'm not a fan, but I know that a lot of people that have artistry in their family heritage or in their parents and stuff like that, are bound to have interesting stories. I do know that Oh no, Michael, no. No, 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 Michael, no. You don't like Vallartians. We're not Vallartians. It rhymes with Martians. You like Vallartenses. That's what we are. Anyhow, what I was getting ready to say is Luis Miguel. See, I'm having a pothead moment. I was going to talk about Luis Miguel, the series, and now it has escaped me. So, ni modo. I cannot tell you what I was thinking because it escaped my mind. But I can tell you is that we are at the end of our broadcast. So, I hope you've been amused. I hope you've been enlightened. And I'm still trying to remember what I was going to say, and I can't, so I'm not going to try anymore, although it's going to kill me for the rest of the morning. Thank you so much for joining us today and every single day that you join us. It's not a correction, Michael. It is just amusing. It's not amusing. It is amusing to me that people call us Vajartians. I mean, it makes grammar sense, I suppose, but it sounds so weird. Anyhow, I will see you again tomorrow if you care to join me. If not, join us whenever you want. Luna and I are always here. And now I'm going to push that outro button and smile silly like I always do. Have a great weekend. Cue the silly smile and cue the button. Bye bye.